the way back to the train station now. My new Uber driver.
Yeah, so where do you want to be dropped, mate?
That's the train station.
Fab.
This is Fred Beck from Fred Dogs Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Stores. Today I'm very lucky with joining the Fighting Fit Gym by Astrid Wett. Astrid, thanks for having me down today. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Fred?
Yeah, all good, all good. Got a train down from London. But then the problem is, I got to the station, right, and you had to get an Uber, or it was a 40-minute walk. And I'm not going to spend the money on an Uber, so I got the 40-minute walk.
Yeah.
How long, you just drive here, yeah?
Yeah, I drive here every morning. I usually train here every morning, and then we go to a gym every evening, so it's twice a day, every day.
You've been training for 60 days, that's a while.
Yeah, 60 days tomorrow. It's the 60-day anniversary. Well, by the time this goes out, yeah, it's 60 days. So yeah, 2 months already.
So kind of growing up, were you quite sporty? Do you do a lot of sport? Are you used to it now, or?
I wasn't sporty at all, no. Obviously, I'm a big fan of football, but I never played it. I was so bad at it. So when someone comes to me and asked to do boxing, I was a bit like, but it's great. It's good fun.
Yeah, it seems it keeps you, of course, keeps you in good shape, obviously, coming down here. How many times a week are you training now?
So it is 14, is it 14 times a week? 10 times a week. Yes, it's twice a day, Monday to Friday, and then once on a Saturday.
Oh, so 1 day off?
Yeah, Sunday is my day off, although I usually film YouTube then, so it's I'm doing something every day.
How do you find it kind of balancing the social media side of things and the boxing training? That's quite tough, isn't it?
To be honest, I've mixed the two. Like over the next couple of months and the previous couple of months, I've put all of my training on social media because I think people want to see that. So yeah, I've just mixed the two. But
I've always found that for professional boxers, they'll show off their training, they'll show off their kind of flashy pad work. But more of a kind of influencer, I don't like the word influencer, more of a kind of TikToker, Instagram, YouTubers, they like to keep their pad work secret. Why do you keep it secret?
I feel like I've not shown as much as I could have because I do want to kind of keep it a little bit, secret, and I don't want to give away everything that I'm doing. But again, I've got a lot of people that kind of want to know what I'm doing day to day. So even if it's just a little skipping video or a little bit of training, then I'll put that on my socials.
Okay, that's fair enough then. What's your favourite part of training so far, would you say?
I think just the routine of it and the fitness. Like I literally feel fitter than I ever have in my life. So yeah, I just enjoy coming here. Everyone here is great, good fun. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's quite nice. I haven't been to this gym before. I don't go to many gyms, but this gym is certainly quite a good setup. But what I really want to know, we'll start with the fight. I go on TikTok quite a lot, probably more than I should. I should probably spend more time off my phone, yeah. But every time I go on it, someone's beefing someone's having an argument. But then 2 days later, they're on Instagram Live talking together. So how did it originally start, all the arguments, all the beef? We'll start from the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, the very beginning.
It's a bit of a long story. But the very beginning, I guess it probably started with me and Cal. Obviously, Cal at the time was going live quite a lot. He was doing his garden football league. And yeah, I think I was already following him. And then one day he followed me back. And on TikTok, if you follow each other, that means you can message each other. So we started messaging and I was like, love the stuff you do. Like, you're doing really well. And then one night we decided to go live. And then everyone was like, oh, do a collab, like meet up. Like for ages, so we were like, fine, we'll give the people what they want.
When was this? What date, or what did you say?
This was December.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was just after I'd lost my previous TikTok account. But yeah, we did a collab, and before then, it was all like love, like, oh, everyone, like, I want them to do a collab, it'd be so good. And as soon as we did it, everyone was like, Astrid's using Cal. And it was like, the backlash from it was just horrific. But me and Cal had formed quite a decent friendship at that point. So we were like, look, we're not going to listen to the haters. We'll still continue seeing each other, go live and do whatever we want. But yeah, it got to a point where I think a lot of people were kind of getting into Cal's head and, saying things about me. And then other people just kind of got involved. And then I had an argument with Ed Matthews, and it just got very messy.
It's built and built and built, basically.
Yeah. More people have got involved, and then some people have fallen out with each other. And I have started to kind of realise that TikTok is becoming very toxic.
Social media in general is toxic, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so toxic. And I, believe it or not, I try and stay away from drama just because it's a bit loud.
You sure you stay away from drama?
I try to, but I just don't know like some people just drag my name into things, and yeah, I mean obviously the beef with Elle, I don't really think that could be helped. I think that was a long time coming, I'm not gonna lie, but everything else, all the other TikTok drama, I always say, why can't we all just be friends?
But do you think it's better if you're not friends in a way? Because then you guys keep arguing. Because people like, if you got a newspaper, it's never going to be something happy on the front of the newspaper. It's always going to be something negative, some kind of wars going on, some fallout. So do you think it's better if you guys are all kind of enemies in a way, and then friends, enemies, then friends, and you can build each other's profiles that way?
I mean, I think it makes it more interesting, but I also feel like people do well when people are friends, like, because then we can all collab and like the charity games and stuff. That's a good cause, and I feel like if we're all friends and we do all these charity matches, like that's just going to do so much better for things like that, rather than us all just hating on each other.
Yeah, that's true. What are the charity matches like? So I remember talking to Snow Joe about this. Snow was saying that there was no security whatsoever, or there was security, but it was only on one side of the pitch. Cow Dragon then got slide tackled, people rush on. So you played 2 charity matches so far, I think.
Yeah.
What was the most recent one like?
The most recent one was Leighton Orient. That one was much better, but I feel like that's because there wasn't as many fans there. Eastbourne was absolutely horrific. Like, you could just feel the energy. Like, everyone was like, they're going to pitch invade in literally 2 minutes. Like, that's why the game was cancelled. But it ruined it. It does ruin it, you know, because that game was for charity again. It was for a good cause, and we couldn't even finish it. So yeah, I would much prefer TikTok to be more of a loving place, but to be honest, I don't think that's going to happen. And it's got to the point now where a lot of creators are worried that other creators are trying to use them for clout, but I don't understand that saying, because people collab on TikTok
The whole time.
The whole time, and just because it's enjoyable and it's mutually beneficial for both creators. So yeah, I don't understand that saying, because that's not the case at all.
Does the kind of the hate and the criticism that kind of each kind of big creator get, does that ever get to you? Or you kind of grow into be against it?
Yeah, it used to, but you kind of realise that people are going to say something no matter what you do. I could do a cartwheel right now and someone would hate on it, do you know what I mean? You could do anything, so I just don't let it get to me, and half the time I don't read the nasty comments. I just try and steer away from it.
Do you ever reply to those comments?
The bad ones, no. The worst thing you could do is reply and give them the time of day, because then they think they've got a kick out of it and they'll do it again. So just block them out. Block, ignore, delete, whatever you have to do, and just focus on the people that are actually supporting you and actually are fans.
Okay, I guess it's quite a good way to think about it. And I've been lucky enough to meet quite a few people on kind of the platforms, but I've never met Cow Dragon. What's he like? He's quite a character.
Yeah, he is absolutely a character, but he is exactly the same in person as you see on the camera.
Really?
Yeah, exactly the same. But he's a lovely, lovely guy, bless him. Like manners.
He seems quite a gentle person.
Yeah, he is, and he's just so like, he wants everybody involved. He wants everybody to have fun. Like, he's just a lovely lad.
Okay, that's quite nice to know. What's Ed Matthews like? Kind of the opposite in a way. He seems like, I bet you, if I was interviewing Ed Matthews right now instead of you, I bet he'd be totally normal. Yeah. I bet it's when the camera comes on and more people are around, they might change a little bit.
With Ed, I've only ever met him once, and that was literally in a nightclub on New Year's. So I feel like that version of Ed isn't the normal version of Ed anyway. But I do think he probably ramps it up for the camera, but I do think he's like that in person as well. I think he just doesn't really care, does he? He just say whatever. He is a character as well. But yeah, I think he's the same in person.
Okay. You kind of got to respect it in a way if they don't really care. I guess nowadays everyone cares what people think of them, and if he's not hearing what people think, then that's quite a nice way to think about it. But last night, he's Elle, Brooke. Obviously you kind of had that kind of scrap in a nightclub.
Yeah.
Why did that scrap even happen?
It was so wild. We was in this nightclub, and people were coming up and they were like, "Oh my God, Elle Brooke is here." Yeah. And I was like, "Why?" Because she told everybody she was living in Surrey. So I was like, "Why on earth would she be in Portsmouth?" So yeah, we accidentally bumped into each other. We were walking, like, she was walking this way, I was walking that way. And nightclubs, it's going to happen. People bump into each other all the time. I accidentally bumped into her, and she kicked off. She was like...
Was that kind of just bumping into him, like,
just a little bit of, like, just like walking into each other, like, nothing crazy. She was like, "You meant to do..." Like, she kind of realised it was me, and then just kicked off. She was like, "You meant to do that." And I was like, "I didn't." I was like, "I'm sorry. I literally didn't mean to barge into you." It just escalated. She chucked a drink over me. And yeah, it just went wild from there. But since then, it's been a little bit of tit for tat on TikTok, and yeah, it's just ended up in a boxing fight.
Well, I guess it ended up in the kind of the best way it possibly could. But when you kind of had that argument in the nightclub, were the cameras on the whole time, or the cameras only get a segment of it?
They only got like halfway through. No one caught me accidentally bumping into her. It was kind of they caught us whilst we were shouting at each other when she was saying, you meant to do that, and I was like, I didn't. And then someone caught the drink being thrown over me and stuff. So yeah, it was like half of it.
Okay, well, at least it was caught on camera. It'd be a shame if it wasn't.
I mean, I kind of hated it. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, no way, did someone record it? And everyone's walking past like, oh my God, nothing to do with me. But yeah, the backlash wasn't as bad as I thought, to be fair. Because I don't want to be that girl that's scrapping in a nightclub. Like, that's not a nice...
Yes, it's not a good PR look, we'll put it that way, yeah.
No, it's not.
The sponsors.
Really, exactly, yeah. No one wants, like, to sponsor people like that. But, yeah, it was fine. And then I tried to sort it out with her on a TikTok live, but she's just a very angry person. Like, on that live, she was just... I don't know if I've just pushed her buttons or what, but she was fuming.
Maybe it's a bad day for her. Because when I met Elle, she was really nice.
Yeah, I feel like she is the kind of person who is nice to who... Not that, like, you, but, like, she's nice to people who she has to be, do you know what I mean? Yeah. If she doesn't have to be nice, she won't be nice. Okay. I feel like that's the kind of vibe I get from her.
Yeah. You've only met her once, and I guess I think they announced the press conference to be this Wednesday. Thank God I got a day off college for that. Well, I don't go in those days. I would, yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully, I know it's sold out, but hopefully I'll just get in allowed in as media. Just message Mark or I'll go along with you. But that's going to be your first experience for a fight week. You're the press conference. I know that the fight's still a while away. You're the press conference this week. I guess on fight week, you're a press conference, public workout, weigh-ins. Well, what would that experience be like for you? Because that's new, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, I've never experienced anything like that before. It'll be interesting, but I'm more excited than nervous. I think it's an exciting experience. It's something that I never, ever, ever thought my career would take me to. So yeah, I'm just very excited to get it all going.
And the O2 Indigo, I was there the other day. It's quite an odd arena, the O2 Indigo, because you've got the kind of low seats and you've got quite high up seats.
Yeah.
But there'll be a lot of people there, obviously. I think the press conference now it's sold out, and let alone what the event will be.
Yeah.
How will you feel like fighting in front of fans, performing in front of people?
I'm not really sure. I don't want to put two and two together because they're completely different. But when I played football for the charity matches, it was fine. Like I wasn't nervous. It was more of a fun experience, and I'm hoping that boxing will be the same kind of thing. But then I also think that people are going to judge the boxing a lot more than my football skills, because people know I don't play football. But if I've been training for 4 months by then, people will have high expectations, I think.
Yeah. Well, I guess it'd be the first round, you might be like, oh wow, look at the crowd. And after the second round, how many rounds is it? 3 rounds? 3 2-minute? 4 2-minute?
Yeah.
Okay, and how many ounce gloves?
14-ounce gloves.
14-ounce gloves, a bit heavier gloves.
Yeah.
So I guess the first round you'll kind of notice the crowd, and the second round you kind of get into it more.
Yeah.
How do you see the fight playing out then?
I'm very confident. My trainers are very confident. I'm trying... Well, I don't look at any of Elle's stuff at all. I really just want to tunnel vision it. I want to get in that ring and think, do you know what? I've done everything I possibly can to perform the best that I can, and then I'll be happy.
Do you find it a bit funny that Mark Tibbs is coaching Elle, and Mark Tibbs trained your coach for a few months?
Yeah. I mean, me and Lou laugh about it all the time, like, because just not even me and Elle, but them two on the night, that's like a rivalry in itself. But yeah, Lou's an unbelievable trainer. Like, he's a professional boxer. He's trained with so many...
I think he's managed by Billy Joe Saunders, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And he's been trained by so many different trainers, so he's almost got the best of everyone.
Best of all worlds, both worlds.
I was going to say both, but yeah, best of all worlds. So yeah, he's so good. And yeah, so is my other trainer, Jacob. They're just unbelievable.
Sounds really good then. And what do you think about... You're the co-main event, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the main event then?
What, Ed and Simon? Yeah. Well, it's difficult. When it first was announced, I was kind of confident that Simon, he's older, he's wiser, and, I just feel like he is taking it a lot more seriously than Ed. But then, I don't know, it's kind of gone swings and roundabouts because I've seen a bit of Simon's training, and I'm not really sure if he's got it in him to beat a 19-year-old. In the fitness that Ed has as well, like, he's in the gym every day, and he has been the whole time he's been on TikTok.
But is he doing cardio in the gym, or is he doing kind of strength conditioning?
I have no idea. Or
strength work?
Yeah, maybe both, maybe just one. I have no idea, but Ed just looks like a machine at the moment.
I imagine, that's a silly question, because I imagine he would be doing cardio, but you've got to look at what coaches they're using, are they underestimating, how they feeling about it, but how do you think about it now?
What, about them?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Ed. I think Ed's going to win. And I also think you know, Ed has a lot more to lose than Simon. If Simon loses, people will be like, oh, fair enough, he gave it a try. If Simon wins, Ed will never ever hear the end of it. You know, you got beaten by a 52-year-old. So I feel like that in itself will just drive Ed to just go nuts.
Yeah, you don't really want it to lose to a 52-year-old man, but that's what makes it so interesting, I guess. I guess a lot more pressure on Ed's shoulders than there are on Simon's. But is this kind of boxing, influencer boxing, TikToker boxing, is it a one-time thing for you, or do you kind of do it a bit longer?
We'll see how it goes. I definitely won't stop training, because I think if I just stopped after the fight, like, my fitness would just be on the floor. But depending on how the fight goes, I would definitely be up for another one.
All right, that sounds pretty good then. Astrid, thanks for your time. That's awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.